50 seconds to go. Starship.
There's quite a big delay between me and you if you're there in person. So watch the rocket now. It might be taking off. So here we go. I'll shut up and listen. Here we go. Let's go, Starship. Flight 13.
Tractors go for launch.
Oh. Okay, deluge, water deluge coming on. Got ignition. Lift off.
views on the screen here. It's amazing.
Yeah, one of these days I'm gonna learn to not stare at the engines because now I have a bright block in my vision. Well, speaking of vision, we can see both stages there on the screen. Starship 7 stage is still firing its engines. With the GUI down on the bottom right-hand side of your screen.
More important, they have the views swapped in the SpaceX. No, they kind of don't. Now they have two ships, but for a little bit they had the booster on the right. We have the booster on the left, and the booster telemetry is the left corner of the right window. But you can see the booster is now falling,
Booster right
and we'll be coming up on a landing burn here. In the next couple minutes.
just lifted off 5 minutes ago.
We are there.
We are there. Now again, this booster is not planning back to the tower or launch site for this particular launch. We are going to be planning to do an ocean splashdown just off the coast of Starbase, so we're going to still get some amazing views of that.
Pretty awesome to see the Raptor engines there on the left-hand side of your screen. We can actually see the plume there of those center Raptors. Those are the sea level ones, as well as the vacuum Raptors are the three of the larger ones on the outer ranges.
And just like on Cap's launch, it's amazing to be doing a 13-engine landing burn to slow the booster down. Hopefully we can get a live camera of the booster right now as we're going into that phase. Awesome shot, you can see it there. So right now the booster is using their 3 hypersonic grid fins to guide itself through the atmosphere toward its landing site. You can see we're only 5 kilometers above the sea right here.
Kind of seeing vision there.
Pull out for
Got
landing
really close.
startup for the booster.
Not all engines lit. That looks like a wonky amount of engines.
Here.
And another awesome landing for Super Heavy. Congratulations to all the teams here at Starbase and at our SpaceX team. An amazing, amazing view.
That didn't quite look right.
Everything continues to go well with ship, as you can see there on your screen.
Shoot.
Yeah, we've got
I don't think the 13 engines quite lit right, and it did not seem to have the soft splashdown.
all 13 engines that we were planning for that initial landing burn. We were targeting a softer splashdown, and as you saw, it came in with quite a bit of velocity still. So landing velocity did look a little bit high, but really cool to make it all the way back this time to that landing burn. We'll dig in, figure out how to turn on all those engines, and then get to a full landing soon. But all eyes on ship. We are just a little ways away from getting those engines turned on. We expect it to burn about 8 minutes and change, and so it's about 15 minutes to go. Sounds like we need to sit down and just outside.
That was
We're gonna have a lot to talk about once they
Starship 6 Raptor engines have successfully shut down.
Nominal orbit insertion.
And there's our call out for nominal orbit insertion. So we got a ship in space. We've got a booster in the Gulf where we were planning to send it. It's a hell of a start to the day, Kate.
Yeah, it sure is. All of our colleagues here are filing in through the doors. A lot of people wanted to stay outside and hear the boom. And so it's pretty great to see a ship in space, and everybody's super excited down here.
That's right. And as guaranteed, it has been an awesome day so far. All this action in just 9 minutes now. And objectives are done for the booster. Just want to quickly flag that that booster did land in a clear zone. We clear those before launch, well ahead, so that we ensure everyone is safe before the launch and after. So we're getting ready now for our in-space objectives.
Yeah, we've got a few minutes until the next milestone, so sit tight and enjoy the space views and, of course, the space jams. We'll be back here at T+14 minutes to deploy our payload, which is 20 of our newest Starlink version 3 satellites. So we'll see you soon.
Okay, so we will kind of let's pull up those milestones here. We'll need a second, but a few things. First off, I saw some black little dots floating away. I hope those aren't heat shield tiles, because that would be not ideal. And we seem to have potentially lost the X feed here. Hold on, just give us a second here. But as noted, obviously, the landing burn did not go as intended. So select all 13 Raptor engines on landing. And what ended up looking like it's happening, we'll have to probably mute the music too as well, so you don't get a copyright strike. By the way, it's not, SpaceX doesn't offer up the copyright. I get copyright strikes on my own stuff just because of all the automated systems on like YouTube and stuff. So that's why we try to avoid it, because it can cause a bunch of headaches and it can literally shut down streams if you don't stay on top of it. So the booster did not seem to light all 13 engines successfully, which led it to not slow down fast enough, and it led it to clearly having too much velocity when it hit the water. It's supposed to basically hover above the water and then shut off. That did not happen. This is exactly why they did go for a catch. People are asking, will it come once before? These are all new engines. They're all new plumbing. The entire V3 booster is basically a brand new, right? Plumbing is so different. Down the booster, the landing tank, the giant massive transfer tube, all super different compared to anything that we saw with version 2 and version 1. Obviously, the Raptor 3s are radically new engines. When I say radical, I mean like the definition of radical, where they're just absolutely like nothing else ever built. And they're still got teething pains, you know, and it might be a little while before we start seeing this actually be reliable. We kind of got spoiled by, you know, Raptor 2 ended up getting pretty darn good by the end of it. And we're still in the early days, relatively early days of Raptor 3. So obviously not what I think SpaceX wanted to see out of the booster today. Does that have massive implications? No, because there's like 10 more in line to fly in the near future and literally hundreds of engines waiting for their turn. However, it does mean that we're delayed another catch of the booster by at least one more mission. We will not see, this means we will not see a catch for Flight 14. They will need to validate that before, okay, so we're into that. Where's the last one? Last timeline thing. Here we go, payload deployment at 1640, so that's coming up really quickly already. So we're gonna start seeing the payload bay door open. It'd be nice if it happened to be during the day so we can get better views of it, but I have a feeling the vehicle's gonna be flying into space nighttime here awfully quick, since it's flying east away from the sun. You can almost get a sense that the sun's about already on the horizon in this shot. So we likely will be seeing that deployment in night, sadly. And night happens every 45 minutes when you're in low Earth orbit. So a little bit of a bummer, but hopefully we can still get good views of that deployment sequence, which will be really fun. So moral of the story is we will see at least another flight 14, before we see a catch. And like I said, I'm still half expecting 2 launch attempts, 2 of those soft splashdowns, you know, one nominal, completely normal, and then one off nominal, intentionally off nominal, to be able to validate, you know, if there was a situation almost like this. That would have been really bad if that came back down to the launch pad with that much velocity. That would have been like a very bad day at the pad. So that's why they validate these. That's why they do that. Again, we got spoiled. They've caught 3 boosters in the past, all of them being version 2 boosts. Well, no, one was version 1, wasn't it? The first one was version 1. Flight 5 was version 1. Yeah, anyway, we saw version 1 and version 2 catches of the booster. We got kind of spoiled by that. You know, that became pretty quickly like, oh, they know how to do that. We will see that. But again, when everything is brand new, you do expect some teething pain. So that's where we're at, and that's okay. Again, I can't wait for the stock to probably go down like 20% or something, just because one milestone. But that's going to be what happens when you're publicly traded, I guess. But that shouldn't matter in the long-term viability of this company that's, you know, that's got a lot going on. And yeah. All right, well, let's keep going here. We're